welcome back to my desk. I am so excited about having a YouTube channel and I want to try lots of different videos because I'm not sure what will be the ideal video type. So I this month want to do a little bit of a live real-time plan along with me. So it is going to be May in less than a week, so I'm about to set up my bullet journal for the month of May. So here I've opened up to the next page, and this month I'm going for another easy theme using some new products that I have recently acquired. So the last time I was at the Dollar Tree, I came across these Crafters Square rub-on transfers of hot air balloons, and I think these are just so cute, so I want to use these. And then I recently purchased the Zebra Sarasa Vintage pens, and I think that these colors will go so nice with the metallic for the hot air balloon. So I'm gonna go with the whole hot air balloon aesthetic here for my monthly. So of course I need to start with my cover page, and these are rub-on transfers, so they're not stickers. I'll actually rub them onto the page, and I really like that. I think that I love rub-on transfers. I think that they're a lot more fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and start by cutting all of these apart so that I can place them individually and figure out which ones I want to go where. I think probably on this cover page I'll want a pretty big one. And then I have not yet chosen a quote for this month. And I'm not sure what I want to choose for a quote, so I think I'm gonna leave that off for now and I'll come back to it later. My method of planning is to generally sit down and figure out what I want to do and do it in the moment. So as an example, I had these. I also got these really cute cacti rub-on transfers, again because I was recently at the Dollar Tree and I saw both sets and I thought they were really cute, and I just haven't been feeling much in a drawing mood as of late, so I thought it would be really nice to use one of these sets for a bullet journal theme. And I went ahead and decided that I liked the hot air balloons for this month. But I've not really planned anything out. I don't know what pages I'm going to include or anything like that. I really do tend to fly at the seat of my pants, or by the seat of my pants in setting up my bullet journal, because of course I want it to be a useful thing, and I do think that there's a time and place to do a lot of careful planning and thinking about what you need in your bullet journal and all of that, but often I don't feel the need to do that, so I will sit down maybe a couple of times a year and think about my planning system and what sorts of pages I want to include. Otherwise, I kind of just go with what I'm feeling in the moment. So I know that there are certain things that I always include. I always have a monthly cover page because I just like the separation of the months. I'm a big fresh start person, and every new month feels like a fresh start to me, so I really like having the opportunity to represent that in my monthly cover page. I tend to like to include quotes, but as I pointed out today, I didn't look one up this week, so I don't have one ready to go, and I'm using my phone to record right now, or else I might have chosen one or looked something up. But that's okay. I can go back and do it later, or I can, you know, not do it at all. It's really up to me, and I like having that flexibility in what I do. Okay, so for the rub-on transfers, if you've never used them before, I'm gonna just peel off the plastic coating. I'll set it down where I want it to be, and then I will rub. I'm using this scraper that came with my Cricut Joy, but any sort of flat tool that you can use to rub should work. And you don't always get a clean transfer, so I like to really go overboard with the rubbing to try and make sure that I get as much of it transferred as possible. And then, sorry, the table's probably gonna shake while I do this, but then you peel it up, and there we go. Yeah, that looks really nice. Sorry, one of my balloons fell. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for my other two balloons here. And then I'll write out April, and we can move on to the calendar page. So, like I said, there are a few different pages that I always include every single month. See, that one didn't quite all transfer. Let's try and go over it one more time. That's the nice thing about these clear, the fact that they're often on clear paper, is that you can place it back over and try again if you do get an incomplete transfer. Then I want a little small one up here. My March was okay. I tend to think of how my month went based off of how productive I was, which I know is not always the healthiest thing, but it's, you know, what society has trained me to do, and I was able to accomplish most of my goals, not for March, for April. We're moving into May. I was able to accomplish most of my goals, which is nice, but we'll just have to wait and see. I might end up adding another one to this page, or we'll see, I might end up wanting to use washi tape, but okay. But yeah, so my April rather was quite productive for the most part, but I feel a little bit, I guess, disappointed with the way that some of it went. I definitely procrastinated a lot on some things just because I wasn't feeling very confident in them. And like, that's okay. I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. It's, you know, too late to do anything about it now. But I think I, as a person, tend to just get very frustrated with my low confidence, if that makes sense. Because I can see how it gets in the way of lots of opportunities for me, and that makes me sad. Okay, that looks really nice. I'm not usually the biggest fan of red, but I thought that this vintage red color would look really nice with our little hot air balloons. And so that's it for my cover page. And like I said, next up is going to be my calendar page, because I always include calendar and tasks. I don't know if this pin or if the transfers are going to sort of transfer or bleed, so I'm going to put this underneath here. But yeah, in order to connect these two pages, I'm going to start by writing May in a very similar way. Oh, yeah, that did stick a little bit. In a very similar way at the top right here, and this is just my sort of go-to script. It's not my sort of natural cursive writing, but anytime I want to make something look a little bit nicer, this is the script that I go to. And as much as I would love to learn or take the time to do some more interesting things, I don't. Yeah, so I just do this every single time. My letters are a little wobbly looking here, but it's fine. I'm not gonna be too bothered. And then I like to split this page in half. Not exactly in half. I probably will do like 10, and then it's 26 across. So what is that? 16. I'm gonna do 11. And then this page, like I pointed out earlier, is going to become my calendar and task list. So generally I'll have the calendar on the left hand side, and if there are known dates, I'll go ahead and put those in. Otherwise, the calendar is mostly for a short description of like the most important event of the day. So it's a little bit of a sort of memory keeper at the most basic level. And then I do a general task list on the right hand side. Do I want to use blue here? Yeah, I don't want to use just red. I'd like to switch up the color some. So I'm going to do the calendar, and my trick for doing the calendar is I always like it starting at the bottom, so I just start at the bottom and go in reverse. Does May have 30 or 31 days? I just wrote 30 and I think that's wrong. So I'm gonna double check that really quickly by flipping to the front of my book. I normally do this before I start writing the notes out. It has 31, so we will just use a little bit of Jelly Roll to cover up those mistakes. And I'll continue on while I let that dry. I have to concentrate because if I do too much talking while I'm writing, I will inevitably mess it up, as we just saw. You can probably also hear the dogs barking in the background. I live in a very dog-friendly neighborhood, and so dogs are constantly barking, but you kind of get used to it. And then, like I said, these pins are completely new. They're the Zebra Sarasa clip in 05, so it's a 0.5 millimeter nib. And like I said, I kind of had a bit of a desire to engage in some retail therapy this weekend, so I picked up these and a few other pens and actually a notebook as well on Amazon. That notebook I'm really excited about, but it is a July start. It's a planner actually, and it's a July start, so I won't be able to use it for a while yet, but I'm really excited to dig into it. I hadn't actually tested these pens on this paper yet, but so far I'm enjoying the experience, and I really like the colors of these. I really enjoy a nice muted color or pastel. Those are things that I tend to enjoy. I will sometimes go for bright colors, but I tend to mostly prefer more muted colors. These are actually quite bold for me, and it's only been rather recently that I have started to actually use colors for all of this line work. I used to just use my brain freeze. I used to only use black for all of this, and I would use colors maybe for the title and any drawings or things like that, but I'm, branching out a little bit more and trying to use colors a bit more, because when you use black, one of the things that I dislike about that is that then it's hard to differentiate between what was the original setup and what I've since written in, and I like to be able to tell the difference between those things. So I have enjoyed switching to using a bit more color. Okay, let's pick some balloons to go in here. I think one down here might be nice. I can maybe afford to do a larger one, especially if it's skinny like this, so if my task list does get really long, I can still squeeze some things in there. Looking back on April though, I didn't fill up my entire task list, and I don't really expect to this month either, because I've got a lot of meetings this month, but that means that I'm gonna have less, that I should at least set myself fewer goals for the month, because I'll likely be pretty busy and not able to actually complete said goals. Okay. Great. And then I want one at the top. Oh no, that one didn't quite. Yeah, so this is the problem, as I have already pointed out with the rub-on transfers, is sometimes you don't get a perfect rub, but I like it better than something like stamps, where it can be a lot harder than to go back and try and fill it in after the fact if it does go wrong. With the rub-ons, you can pretty easily place it in the exact spot you need it to be, so that you can still get that full transfer. Unlike it, I know if you have clear stamps you can do that, but most of the stamps that I work with, it's really hard to do that because it's hard to see where exactly you're placing it. Okay, I think this one's pretty good. Yeah, I could feel the paper or the plastic lifting up there. And we'll put another smaller one on the other corner. Maybe this guy, or do I have a short fat one? So that might look cute. Or I could do this teeny tiny one. I think I like that. In terms of what I have to look forward to in May, like I said, I'm going to be having a lot of meetings in the month of May. So as a result, will probably be a little bit, to go a little bit easier on myself in terms of planning, just because I'm not going to have as much sort of free time to work on different tasks and such. Nope, that did not transfer at all. This one obviously is quite filled in, so it's a little bit harder to make sure every little piece of that gets transferred. Oh no, this is sticking. No, that's fine. Okay, let's see if I can pull it off now. Perfect. Okay, last thing I want to do on here is I like to put a line between Saturday and Sunday on my calendar, just to help break up the weekends a little bit, or break up the weeks. I am a graduate student and I'm going to be graduating this year, and my plan is to teach. I really want to teach, and so the reason I'm going to be so busy in the month of May with meetings is because I am participating in a seminar on helping to prepare future faculty members to become faculty members. So that should be really helpful for my sort of professional development, but it does mean that I'm going to be a little bit busier than normal. Okay, this page I left blank last month because I knew I wanted to work on my quarterly goals, and I did end up setting up my Q2 goals on that page. This month I don't have goals that I need to set up, and I had left it blank in March as well as a way to help me plan out projects and such, but I won't need to do that either. But maybe a nice thing to do would be to have this as a notes page for my seminar. So I don't think that I would, for example, like have notes of the entire seminar here, but maybe sort of the biggest standout things I could include on this page. So I think I want to use this page for that. I had thought about doing a mood tracker this month, but I track my mood on my phone, and I also have, a year in pixels at the opening here, so I don't know that doing a monthly or weekly mood tracker is necessary. I had thought about doing it just because I've been struggling a little bit with being present and really checking in with myself on those things. I have a huge tendency to sort of just say okay and move on if I don't really want to engage with figuring out how I'm really feeling, and I have been doing that lately, but I don't think I want to take up space for that. I don't think that it would actually be helpful to do that this month. Okay, let's write notes, and I'm going to write it in blue this time since my other two titles have been in red, but this is a little bit different. I think S's might be my favorite letter to write, which sucks because I do not have any S's in my name. Messed that up a little bit, but we're just gonna work with it. We're gonna make it look intentional. I've sort of run the gamut when it comes to my bullet journal and how much I care about how it looks. I've lately, I guess, been in a state of I don't have time for this. I like it to look pretty. I don't want it to be, you know, completely ignored, but I don't tend to spend a ton of time on it just because I can't be bothered, if I'm being honest. I want it to look nice, I want it to be useful, but like I could drive myself crazy trying to create the most perfect, beautiful thing every single month and still not be happy with it. So I have lately taken more of an approach of, you know, what can I do that's quick and easy and essentially good enough? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Oh no, I had it upside down. Oh no! It rubbed off on my finger because it was upside down. Okay, well, I'll just fill in those missing bits with a gold pen. That shouldn't be a huge deal. Although my gold pen is almost out of ink, and I should maybe check to make sure the color will match before I just go in with it, but you know, because I think my pen is a bit brighter of a color than this. Let's pull it out. One thing about me, I like to have, I think it'll be close enough. I like to have all of my stuff within reach, which makes for a lot of clutter because I also tend to be someone who dislikes having a ton of clutter. I'm sure my head is probably in the frame right now, but I really want to get that filled in. Okay, great. Like, the color is not exactly the same, but I think that looks better than if I had just left it messed up. And yeah, this will be a lovely place to put some notes. But anyway, I was saying that leads to a bit of clutter. I might want to put one here or here. We'll see, but I also don't want to run out. That definitely needs to dry for a minute. But this week or this month, I need to set up some weeklies. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. I've done other monthly pages at the beginning before, but this year, I don't know. I've kind of just gone with calendar and task list, and that's pretty much it. I did do this tracker, like habit tracker, mood tracker in January, but I don't think I want to do that. In February, I did 1 line a day in a chores tracker, and then March and April, I haven't done anything because I've gotten a little bit burnt out, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go straight into weeklies here. And I don't know, I think that I'll probably honestly only need a 1-page weekly this month because of the fact that I just don't have that much going on, because I'll be in meetings so often. So let me, do that. Use the colors to set that up, and I like to have a mini calendar on my weeklies. It's just I can't not, and then I'll do 2 pages on 1 week. So let's do that. Forgot Saturday. And then I'll do the first week in red and the rest in blue. Or I guess the first two, since I'm doing 2 pages on this week. Yeah. I know a lot of bullet journalers dislike mini calendars because it's writing all those tiny numbers, and granted, on a page like this people don't complain about it that much, but I absolutely love them. I love how they look. I don't mind writing them at all. So yeah, mini calendars are one of my favorite things about bullet journaling, actually. And I tend to always do mine for my mom, who also bullet journals. I will do her calendars for her if we are together when we are setting up our new year. Actually, I want one line at the top here too. Okay. Probably should have used a ruler for that, since I used a ruler over here, but it was fine. Okay, so I want to fit 14 days on here, so I need to think about how I'm gonna block it off. I could do, let me look back here at my year at a glance page to see about, okay, so I did 2. I was thinking I had done 3 across, so I think I might do 3 on each side, so 3, 6, 9, 12, and yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll have, it's 26 across, which means that if I want to divide that by 3, see, I do not really use a grid spacing guide, and I do have my, I haven't talked about it on this channel, but I have a separate journal that I call my reference journal that I can get out for these very moments. I've got my grid spacing guide in here, so actually I'll go ahead and put that up now. Okay, yeah, so it is 26 across. If I want to divide that into thirds, 1/3 of 20 is like 6, so it would be like about 6. No, that's not right. It'd be about 8. So I could do a column of 8, 8. And when it comes to extra, so I'll have 2 extra blocks. I tend to like to put those in the middle too, so I'll do 8, 9, 9, 8, 9, 9. Okay, perfect. And then the question is, do I want my lines to be in black, or sorry, in blue or red? I think I want red. So, and then that works out well with my calendar as well. Perfect. So, and I'm just gonna literally make this into a grid, and then I will decorate the boxes that I don't need for my week. I personally think it looks more balanced if you're trying to separate it up. My advice is, and you have extra blocks, like you have an odd number like I did here, I can't perfectly divide 26 into thirds. I tend to first add an extra block to the middle sections, because you have the, at least in this notebook, you have the margins on the sides, so it'll make it look more balanced if the extra block is in the middle. And then if there are additional extra blocks, I'll add them to the center here, because I can either put a line here in the center, which will again, sort of erase the margin and make it look a little bit more contained. But in addition to that, I don't like writing right near the center of the book, so that's more of a personal preference type of thing there. But this is what I'm going to go for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I will put in my weeks. My first 2 weeklies will be set up and we'll be pretty good to go for the month of May. And yeah, right now I am definitely in a headspace of let's take the least amount of time possible setting up my bullet journal. I do tend to spend a lot of time sort of working in my bullet journal, I guess I'll say, by doing various things. But in terms of actually setting it up, not so much. Okay, I am 38 down, and I also want to divide that into 3s. So what is a third of 38? So a third of 30 is 10, and a third of 8, again, I'm gonna have 2 extra, so I'll add those 2. I might add both of them to the middle, actually, in this case. Nope, I'll add to the middle and the bottom. Okay, so the middle and the bottom will be 13, the top will be 12. Perfect. But yeah, like I said, I'm really not enjoying, at least, spending too much time on this right now in terms of the actual setup. I want that to be quick and easy. I'm using my bullet journal in a very functional way. And so I have really been trying to, as a result, set things up as quickly as possible. Okay, so, oops, I make that mistake all the time. I don't know if anyone else has that problem where they hold their ruler in the wrong place and then end up with a little jog in the line where your finger was. But again, I'll just use a handy white gel pen to fix that right up. And yeah, if this was really bothering me that these inside ones do look larger, I could put a line there, but I like the open grid, so I'm not gonna do that. And so now it's just a matter of labeling all these boxes. So we'll do Sunday the 1st, Monday the 2nd, and I think I want to go across like this instead of keeping like 1 page, 2 page. And I should see where I want my empty boxes to be actually before I finish this. So I have 18 and I only need 14, so that means I'll have 4 empty boxes. Obviously my calendar is one of those, but I'll need 3 more, so I'll probably do 2 in the middle row and 1 in the bottom row empty. No, because I don't like writing in the bottom row, so I'll leave 1 in the middle row and 2 in the bottom row empty. Perfect. Tuesday the 3rd, And you can see that I also tend to, I'll use the same colors, and if I am drawing pictures or things like that, I will sometimes include those on the weekly spreads, but I like my weeklies to be a lot more practical, so I don't always tend to do the most when it comes to all of that. I guess that could have been a nice place to break, but I also, even though I use a Sunday start calendar, I do tend to like to plan my weeks Monday to Monday, so it actually could be nice to break up the week by having this block empty, so we'll go ahead and do that. I thought I might use all of the colors in my pen set. It comes with 5, but I really wanted to use the red. I just thought it would look really nice with our hot air balloons, and then the others I just decided I liked the red and the blue together. So I guess very patriotic, red and blue, but I just like those colors together, so that's what we went with. And actually, I will leave one of these for notes. Or like a next week type of a deal. I'll just write notes. Sometimes I call this like a dump section, sometimes I'll call it notes, sometimes I'll call it like up next. Generally, it's like if I schedule a meeting somewhere in the middle of the week and I need to like have somewhere to note down that that's happening, I'll write it there, or just other random things. So, okay, let's decorate this page. I've used up all my small ones, so I don't think I have one that's small enough to just fit inside that box, but I could do something like this where it's bleeding over a little bit into the Friday box. I think that works just fine, especially if I cock it to the side like that, so we'll put that one there. I think that's the smallest one I have left. Yeah. Perfect. And I might go ahead and set up the last 2 weeks as well. You know, just be done with the whole month setup, but nah, I'll wait. Because I might decide that I do actually want a little bit more space, and that's the thing that I like about the bullet journal, is that you're not constrained to one layout. So I think that this will work well for me, just based off of what my plans are going to look like for the month of May. I think that this should be plenty of space on a weekly basis, but who knows? Maybe I will find that partaking in that seminar is really invigorating and I end up spending a ton of extra time working on other things and then regret having so little space. So I will wait to do oh, that fits so perfectly in there. I'm gonna wait to do the rest of my weeklies until we're done with these weeks and I have a better idea of how much I like them, because this is not a known. I love how perfectly this little guy fits in here, and then I might be able to fit a little quote in there later on if I come across something that I like. Perfect. So we just gotta fit one more in our last little box here. I like these ones with banners on them, and so I'm really tempted to use this one, but I think I want to use, oh, and there's a little cat in there. Yeah, we're using this one. It's too cute. And yeah, this I think was perfect as well in terms of the amount of transfers that came with it, because as you can see, I had plenty to decorate my intro pages as well as my weekly, and I've got a few left here. So let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I got 6 left, which should be plenty to decorate the remaining weeklies, because I'll probably, like most likely if we're being honest, have a second page like this. And so that'll be another 3 that get used up. Maybe not even 3 actually, because I'll probably include those 3 days in this week, which means I'll probably only use 1. And then we'll have a few left if I want to do like a month in review or something like that, or if any of these dailies don't get filled out, I might put 1 in, but I like that for now. Like I said, if I don't use up all of this notes pages, I can put some in here at the bottom, or if I finally decide on a quote to put in. I don't know why this one is particularly sticky. If I decide on a quote to put here on my quote page, I can put some over here, but for now I'm gonna leave this blank. I may or may not come up with a quote page, and that's it. So we'll do the final flip through. Got my little cover page here with these 3 little balloons, my sort of events and tasks, which the events serves more as like a calendar / 1 line a day / yeah, I don't know what you want to call it, but I like to have something written for every day, so I'm feeling really chatty. So I'll show you for April. So it is April 26th today, so I haven't done that, but yeah, I like to have something written every day, but it's generally like if I have a meeting that day, it'll be meeting, so meeting with A, because I had a meeting that day, and then other things. So it might be date night at home. We spontaneously had a date night that day, or sewing, because I did a lot of sewing that day. But then it might be I feel sick because I felt sick that day, or things like that. So or I feel horrible because I felt particularly bad on that day. So I will write a little bit about the day, but then if it is the case that I have a scheduled event, like a meeting, that usually goes on here. Easter, so I had family Easter celebration on here, things like that. So I will have that. I got a place to put my tasks, which really serves more of like goals for the month than actual tasks for the month. Again, most of my tasks are not time-based, so having this list, especially when I'm deciding what I'm going to focus on for a particular week, is really helpful. And then my place to put notes from my seminar meetings, which I need to go through and actually fill in when those are happening. And then my first 2 weeklies. Yeah, all done.